I just want to enjoy the latter portion of my life. And I don't want to be primarily driven by what these markets are doing or who wants to learn this or that from me, which is the reason why I'm writing the books. So whatever I write in these books, that's my final word on the matter. There isn't going to be like future mentorships or future one-on-ones or anything like that. I'm not interested in that. Like I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired of it because the world's becoming much more toxic. And whenever you find someone that has something that works really, really well, nobody else can compete with it in terms of precision, the level of detail that is predictable. You can anticipate, not react. You can anticipate these things in price. It makes you feel inferior. And that inferiority complex, you can see it in other YouTubers, other social media entities. And I could have a field day with a younger ICT. Like 10 years ago, oh my goodness, I would be absolutely loving this right now. But I don't want to do it. Okay. I don't want to do it. I've either it might be I've grown older and I'm getting in those really fuddy-duddy ages, or I just lost my interest in it. The fun and sport in it is no longer there. So now when I talk to you, even the folks that say they never watch my videos, but they always come out with something that I've said. It's almost like they pick up my vernacular, but they'll swear up and down, I don't ever watch ICT videos. I've never read a book on day trading. I don't know why people say that stuff when it's not true. It's obvious that that's not true, okay? Everybody in trading has picked up a book. I've read lots of books. I've bought lots of courses. I bought courses from other mentors, people that you probably know, maybe some people you've never known before. And the thing that comes up a lot through the people that either have a service or a source of mentorship of some kind or something in trading they're trying to market or whatever, they'll say, I've taken things and rebranded it. And the folks that have sat down and did the work on this stuff, and even from the people from those specific areas of study, for instance, like supply and demand, everybody insists that the order block is supply and demand, and it's not. It's absolutely not. And the fact that there's a change in the state of delivery of price completely removes the idea of any supply and demand factors, because what you're stating is the price is going up because there's buying pressure and price is going lower because there's selling pressure, and that's not true. It's absolutely not true. But that's what these individuals, even in the financial sector, they have jobs. Okay, they worked for financial institutions. They have learned to parrot those same things. And if they don't talk that way, they'll be slagged in the industry, and they can't afford that. I don't care if people agree or don't agree with me. I don't care. It doesn't change the fact that this is the truth. This is the way it is. When you come into this industry, you're met with all kinds of enticements. Quit your job, get rich, drive these cars, go to these fancy places, get finer looking women, get a better man, all those types of things. And I found out early on, they were not my initial motivators, but when I had a taste of money, the very first few times where I had winning trades and I felt like I had it figured out when I didn't. And that's the problem with having the first few years of your trading. You're going to be convinced that you figured it out. Even if you're having short-term, immediate reward by doing something, you may not understand what it is that you did, but you're looking at the fact that you made that money. And because you want to feel good about yourself, and people like myself, where I felt like I had to prove something to the world, because my parents didn't want anything to do with me. My own parents didn't want that. And I was scheduled to be aborted. I wasn't even supposed to be here. But God said otherwise. And because of that, I had a chip on my shoulder. I still do. And the first person that gave me fatherly love and attention was my grandfather. And everything I do in my life, everything I do, I wish many times that I could get his approval. And I can't get it, right? So it constantly is like a fire under me that just keeps on burning. when I started making money, my position about what it is that motivated me, helped me navigate through all these ups and downs, was that, well, wait a minute, if I can make that much money, if I did this many contracts with that type of a move, then I could make $20,000 a month. Well, if I did $20,000 a month, that's like $250,000 a year almost. So that's what I'm gonna try to trade more aggressively. I want to make more money because I like how I feel, and if I could start flashing that, showing it to other people, then I would get that itch scratched. And I did all those types of things, and you know what? It didn't work. It was like a mosquito bite. Yeah, you felt it bite you, and it's pulling the little thing it sticks in you to suck the blood out of you. Then you either smack it or you start scratching it. Well, as soon as you scratch it, that's it. The histamine in your skin is going to go crazy, and it's going to start itching even more. So what I thought was going to satisfy that itch, to make me feel significant, to make me feel like I've arrived or worth being, here. Like I didn't find a purpose in life until I found trading. This was my whole purpose for being here. I'm convinced of it now, more so as a 51-year-old in August. I'm convinced that's why I was here. I was meant to be here. And that's not arrogance, because I was resisting that for a long time. Like, how did all these things happen where my mother just recently had an abortion right before she got pregnant with me? And it was only a threat by my father to take her life, literally. That's the reason why she gave birth to me. So imagine you come into the world and your father's locked up in prison for contract murder, doing 2 consecutive life sentences, plus 20 years, plus pick up more time for trying to escape in the early 80s. He's never getting out. He's going to die in there. And my mother didn't want anything to do with me. So I know what it's like for all of you, okay, that are trying to find your way out here, that you want to feel like you're somebody special, that you really matter, that you have a purpose, and you end up having like these montage moments. That's how it was for me when I was a young man. Like, I would play music, and in my mind, while I was driving, doing my job, I'm like, oh man, I'm listening to this music while I'm driving around. It's going to be like this when I get successful. It's going to be like that when I get successful. When I do this, I'm going to show that person, and you might be laughing to yourself. You're thinking, yeah, I do that shit too. I would never tell it to anybody, but that's what it was for me. And when I taught on baby pips, a lot of the things I taught with my lectures and such, I painted it in a light that it was like an action movie. It was like some kind of Tom Clancy, type thing, sniper, and it picked up. It got an audience, and then an audience learned, and they learned how to trade, and other people would ask them, how'd you learn? I learned from this guy on baby pips, and more people grew, and it just kept growing. And I don't know where you are in your walk. I don't know where you are in your learning. I don't know where you are in the world. I don't know your state of mind, but I've always had this deep-rooted desire to be, number one, identified, recognized. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, you just opened this up by saying you don't want to be a celebrity. Yeah, I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't like just a little bit of notoriety I've received. Like, it's extremely intrusive. And so many people are clamoring to get your attention and wanting to do things with you, and I don't feel like my life is mine anymore, which is the reason why I'm putting down Inner Circle Trader in November. I'm doing that. No one else did that. I'm doing it. I told you the time it's going to happen, and I will be satisfied how I leave you. And that way I won't have this itch that I keep scratching. I know some of that probably upsets you, like, because you like the things I put out, and maybe like these Twitter spaces, and no, I'm not going to do them once we're done in November. But the videos on my YouTube channel, I'm not taking them down. A lot of people are freaking out saying he's going to take his videos. The whole purpose of putting them up there was so you don't have to buy them from these people that are out there trying to trick you and say that I taught Enigma in my mentorship, when I never did. I never will teach that. I didn't teach 90-minute or 90-second or 90-minute cycles. Okay, there's people out there literally lying to you, using my name, claiming that I taught this in the forum and this and that. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. And I put those core content lessons up on my YouTube channel for the express purpose to gift it to the community, number one. Two, to prove that everybody else out there that doesn't want to just simply give recognition. Like it's extremely offensive to see people pretend like they found this on their own. There's nothing. Listen, folks. Okay, this is for the people that like to go in the comment section of other people's videos and say I rebranded it. There's $1 million. That's a bounty. I have $1 million that I will pay if you sit down, go through my core content, go through all my PD arrays, okay, go through all that stuff, and show us all where I rebranded any of that bullshit. Okay, because it ain't happening. Okay, all that stuff that people talk about, it's just to steal your pursuit. And social media has a huge influence over people. Huge. Like, I could be way bigger than I am if I wanted to be bigger. I don't want to be bigger. Like, I'm uncomfortable. And some of you that might want to be where I am right now, as a 20-year-old, I didn't start that way, but about 4 years into it, this is exactly where I wanted to be at.